What up, meal prepsters? It's Bobby, and last week I asked you what kind of meal prep you want to see this week, and you guys overwhelmingly said Starbucks breakfast meal prep. In fact, a couple of you guys work at Starbucks and still want to see it. So today I'm gonna make it at home and make it much cheaper than Starbucks. So your bellies and your wallets are gonna thank me because we are making sous-vide egg bites. Little custardy egg bites filled with eggs, Gruyere cheese, and baked in the oven. A sausage, egg, and cheddar cheese breakfast sandwich, and an egg white, spinach, and feta cheese whole wheat wrap. So if you guys love my meal prepping videos, subscribe to my channel and share this video. I have new videos every Friday morning, hooking up all my meal prepsters around the world. Let's start by making the custardy, silky sous vide egg bites loaded with bacon and cheese by cracking in 5 eggs into the blender here. And next up, I'm gonna grab 4 tablespoons of low-fat cottage cheese. You might think of this as what your grandma put in the middle of her cantaloupe, but it's gonna make the texture of the egg bites really silky and custardy. Next up, I'm gonna grab some Gruyere cheese. This stuff is awesome. If you like French onion soup, this is what they use to make it. It's nutty, it's earthy, but if you can't find it, you can use Swiss cheese as a replacement. So let's grate a ½ cup of this, and then add a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and a few cracks of black pepper. Now, normally when you see me make eggs, I'm gonna do it by hand and whisk it and beat it really hard to get as much air in there as possible. And no matter how much I've been lifting at the gym lately, the blender is gonna beat a lot more air in there than I can. So slap on the lid, and then put this guy on high for about 20 to 30 seconds. All right, since we're in the Starbucks frame of thinking, I say you want this to be light and airy and kind of look like a Frappuccino, nice and bubbly on top is what you want. Now to make these guys look like the ones over at Starbucks, I have a muffin tin that I sprayed with some nonstick spray over the sink. Make sure you do that, otherwise they ain't gonna come out afterwards. So all you wanna do is fill up the muffin tins almost all the way to the top. Perfect. Now, I will give Starbucks some cred because on the top of their sous vide egg bites, they have a layer of bacon. And that's just something I'm gonna admit I can't do at home, but what I'm gonna do instead is take 2 pieces of bacon that I cooked a little bit earlier and sprinkle it all up in those little egg bites, and that'll do just fine. Now, the literal translation of the word sous vide in French means stupid American. Now, it means under vacuum, where you cook the food in a water immersion circulator at the same temperature. It cooks the food consistently from outside to in. And because I don't have a sous vide at home, and you probably don't have one either, I've got a DIY hack in the oven that'll hook you up. Check it out. I have my oven preheating at 300 with a big pan of water down there. That's called a water bath, and that's gonna create a humid, moist environment, which will allow the eggs to cook evenly and cook through at the same time. These guys will take 30 minutes. Let's set a timer. All right, you guys, it's been 30 minutes exactly, and take a peek at these because they look absolutely perfect. Allow these to cool a couple minutes, and then we'll pop them out of here. Oh, look at the bacon, how it's completely marbled on the top, and they are just silky and golden from top to bottom. Perfect. Now, I don't want to toot my own horn, y'all, but these are mine over here, and this is one from Starbucks I got a couple hours ago. You be the judge. Which one do you want to stuff into your pie hole? For me, I'm going with mine. Let's push this one to the side and then cut into one of mine. Look at that, you guys. The bacon is marbled all throughout. It's perfectly silky and custardy and soft. You guys, the flavors are nutty, earthy, salty, custardy texture, but possibly even better than the flavor is the price. When you get these bad boys at Starbucks, 2 of them cost $4.75. For my recipe, 2 of them cost $1.27. That is outrageous savings, so you gotta make them because they are legit and they're gonna save your wallet big time. Let's move on to the sausage, egg, and cheddar brekkie sandwich. So in front of me, I have 3 links of chicken sausage. I wanna keep this recipe a little lighter than using pork, so chicken is a great way to do that. Go ahead and cut these guys open, then take all the chicken sausage out of the casing. Now basically we're making little breakfast burger patties, so I'm going back to my favorite way to form patties. I have a peanut butter jar lid here covered in plastic wrap. I'm gonna take my mixture here and pack it in. And the reason why I do that is that we get even, uniform breakfast patties every single time, and they have a nice definition to them. And because we use the plastic wrap, it pops right out. I turn it over, and you have a perfectly formed chicken sausage patty. And then put it down. To cook these patties, I'm preheating my favorite large cast iron pan over medium heat. I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of veggie oil. Perfect. So these guys are gonna cook for 5 minutes on the first side, but whatever you do, do not flip them or poke at them early, otherwise you're not gonna get an insanely crusty crust on there. And you know I live for that, and I also live for easy cleanup, so I'm gonna take my splatter guard and slap that down. It will save you so much time in cleanup. I'll put a link down in the description box to hook you guys up. Let's flip these guys over. Perfectly golden brown, a little charred, I love that. We're gonna add a little bit of cheddar cheese on top of these guys, about a tablespoon or so on each. Now, to make the cheese melt evenly so it's not kind of semi-melted, I'm using my favorite trick in the book, 2 to 3 ice cubes. So get those in the pan and immediately go on with the lid. The dome will help keep the moisture inside, and wait till you see what this cheese looks like on top of this patty. Check that out. See how beautifully even the cheddar cheese is melted there, and it's just like hugging the side of the patties. I love that. Let's get each one out. For the egg portion of this sandwich, I have 5 eggs in front of me. So basically what I'm trying to do is recreate those hockey puck-like eggs that go on top of sandwiches, the ones that look really fake and usually are. Well, I'm gonna make a real version of the fake hockey pucks because I want it to look like the breakfast sandwich from Starbucks. Add about a half a teaspoon of salt, a couple cracks of black pepper, and then preheat a 8 or 9 inch nonstick pan over medium-low heat. You want to use nonstick when doing this, otherwise if you use any other pan, the eggs are most likely going to stick. If you don't have one, I'll put a link down below in the description box too. The pan has a teaspoon of olive oil. I'm going to add my eggs. And then if you watched my breakfast meal prep a few weeks ago when I made the frittata, I'm cooking this literally the same exact way. You're gonna keep stirring for a few minutes until it starts to set just a little bit, and then throw it in the oven that's preheating at 400 degrees right now. Now for this video, I literally canvassed every Starbucks in the neighborhood doing research, trying to ask the baristas what the top 3 breakfast items were. So when you make them, take a picture and tag me on social media because I love seeing the creations you guys make. I'm gonna take it off the heat, and I'm gonna pop it in the oven for about 7 to 10 minutes. All right, the frittata took 7 minutes exactly, and this is my favorite part because I love playing with food. So take a spatula and just run it around the edges. And because we use the nonstick pan, it comes away perfectly easy. Now, I don't have an industrial cutter to make it perfectly symmetrical, but I do have a glass from my cupboard, so that's gonna work just fine. So put it down as close to the edge as possible and just push it down. And ladies and gents, we have a hockey puck. Hey, egg hockey puck that is real, but I successfully made it look fake. That's burning my hand off. Ow, ow, ow. Let's pop out the rest. And as you can see, this makes 4, but for all the meal prep recipes today, I'm only making 3 days of it because eggs only stay in the fridge for 3 days. But if you're down with freezing this, double all the recipes and then freeze them, and I'll give you storage and reheating instructions later on. I have a few English muffins here that I toasted a few minutes ago. I'm gonna put the chicken sausage patty on the bottom and then top it with a delicious hockey puck, and then the top of the English muffin, and ta-da, y'all. Oh wow, that's so good. Oh, I love it. Let's build the rest. More sausage, more eggs. You guys, this is the king of breakfast sandos. That cheese is melted all over that salty, meaty chicken sausage. I love that pillowy layer of eggs, and the toasted bun of English muffin is bomb. Once again, and maybe the best thing about this besides the flavor is the cost. When you buy this sucker at Starbucks, it's $3.75. Mine is only $2.25, and I'm just gonna say it's miles better. The last thing we have to do before I chow this down is make the egg white, spinach, and feta wrap. It's really easy, super healthy, and here's how you do it. Slice 1 plum aroma tomato, then season it with a shot of olive oil, a small pinch of salt, a couple cracks of pepper, a small pinch of sugar, then roast in a 300-degree oven for 40 minutes. Add a shot of olive oil to a pot and then go in with 2 cloves of minced garlic and a pinch of red pepper flakes, and then add 4 ounces of baby spinach. Cook it for 5 to 7 minutes until it's wilted all the way down, then season it with a squeeze of lemon juice, a pinch of salt, and a crack of pepper. Add 6 egg whites to a pan and cook it for a couple minutes until the bottom gets set. Give it a mix up and repeat that process until the eggs are a soft scramble, and then season with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a couple cracks of black pepper. Assemble the wrap by laying down 1/3 of the egg white mixture on a whole wheat tortilla. Then add some of the cooked spinach on top of that. Add just over 1 tablespoon of crumbled feta cheese and some of the tomatoes that have been cooked and roughly chopped. Fold the wrap up, leaving the top side open. Place the wraps in a hot pan for about 5 minutes until they're nice and crusty. Give them a flip, let them cook another 5 minutes. Take them out of the pan and you're done. It actually kind of tastes like a pizza, but those egg whites are custardy, that spinach is garlicky, and when you cook the tomatoes like this, they get sweet and jammy and the flavor intensifies. Now the price at Starbucks for this guy is $3.75, but my price is $1.18. Seriously hooking you up, and this is even better. Now when it comes to storing and reheating, for the egg bites, they can stay in the fridge for 3 days. Otherwise, you can make a double or a triple batch and freeze them for 2 to 3 months and heat them in the microwave or the oven and you're good to go. Now for the breakfast sandwich, I would just store everything separately in the fridge. So keep the egg separate from the cheese melted on top of the patty. And in the morning, just toast your English muffin, or you can freeze the sausage and the egg, defrost it, and then toast your English muffin. And finally, for the egg white wrap, you can actually make these just like this and then pop it in the freezer for 2 to 3 months and reheat it in the oven or microwave whenever you're ready to eat it, no problem. Well, that's it, you guys. I hope you loved my Starbucks breakfast meal prep. Make sure you share this video and subscribe to my channel for new meal preps every Friday morning. If you want to see 2 more healthy and delicious meal preps, check out the video below me. But I'll see you next week. Until then, keep on cooking.